Hey guys, Shaunti Phillips here with my new video about how I lost over 150 pounds without surgery. Now I know some of you out there, I've gotten comments, I've gotten a lot of messages about me doing the weight loss stuff. A lot of people want me to do more videos about weight loss and talking about what I've done, all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much what this video is going to be. It's also some of this to me too. When I talk about some of this, I get a little bit emotional just because looking back and stuff of my weight before and all that kind of stuff. And this is going to be, also hopefully some of you guys out there who want to lose weight as well. Hopefully this video is maybe inspirational to some of you guys. And even if only one person decides to start losing weight from hearing what I have to say, to me, that's, to me, out of everything I've done in my life, all the movies and all the kind of things, all the stuff on YouTube, everything, the biggest accomplishment to me that to me I just feel the best about that I've ever done is losing this weight. I'm going to talk about the problems with the weight, what kind of complications I was having from being so heavy, all that kind of stuff in this video. Pretty much, though, I want to talk about the surgery aspect. There's some pictures of me in the very beginning in June, when I was in the hospital. So a lot of people kind of had the idea that, oh, I must have gotten stomach surgery. And the thing is, the gastric bypass surgery. And the thing is, for a lot of people, that is a really good option. It's especially, if you're really high, if you see the show like 600 Pound Life and you're like 600, 700, 800 pounds, that might be something that you have to do. For me, I really wanted just to show to myself and to the viewers and people out there that it can be done. In the beginning, I didn't know if it could be done for me personally, but I was hoping to show that it could be done without surgery. But the reason why I was in the hospital originally was not to get the surgery, and I'm not covering it up, and I'm not hiding this, and no one paid for it, or any of that. I did not do it. And if I did do it, I'd be 100% honest with you guys about it, because to me, this is the most important thing, this weight loss, at least currently, and pretty much for the rest of my life is something I'm going to be continuing with and maintaining and all that kind of stuff, and continuing to go down with the weight, at least working to continue to. I'll mention, too, the current weight is 261. It was originally, I first started weighing myself about 419. That was, I believe, in August of 2014. So I don't know the weight before that. But I remember in the hospital, when I went to the hospital, basically I went to the hospital because I got cellulitis, which is a kind of a rash in my leg, like kind of a bad leg infection. I didn't know what it was when I first went there. I remember I was in the movie theaters seeing, 22 Jump Street, started feeling really weird that whole night. When I was in the theaters, had this weird thing going on. Then I got really dizzy when I got up, and I got really paranoid and kind of thought I might have been having a heart attack. Kind of thought that it was going to be the end for me. I remember calling my parents, because I was with my brother, and saying, almost was pretty much saying goodbye. It was really fucked up, and it's something that I get really emotional talking about, because, for some reason, I really thought that I was going to die that night. I know it was bad, but I had that kind of vibe, and the whole thing going on. And I remember, I went to the hospital that night, and then they were doing all these tests, because I am the kind of person who never went to the doctor. I was scared shitless of the doctor. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to know my weight. I didn't want to face reality, and I didn't want to. I could not fucking face reality with how heavy I was. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to hear about it. And that's really what it was. So basically, I had not gone to the doctor since maybe 2003, 2004. I just quit going. So it was years of not going, years of not knowing if I had diabetes, not knowing if I had, that was the biggest concern I had. Luckily enough, I didn't get diabetes. That was the biggest bullet that I have dodged in my entire life, was not getting diabetes and not having to be stuck dealing with that for the rest of my life. But I went in there, got the cellulitis, and, they looked at it, they gave me this medication. They thought it was going to go away. The next day, the pain got worse and worse. Then I had to go back to the hospital. And, this is, like I said, I was my heaviest there. That was when I was weighed. I didn't want to see it. Ended up having to stay overnight in the hospital. Was absolutely scared shitless. Scared beyond belief in the hospital. That was one of the scariest experiences of my entire life, was having to stay in that hospital at night. And I was getting visions when I was in there. I guess because it was all this kind of medication to get the, cellulitis under control. I was getting these kind of visions of myself. If I didn't lose the weight, what would happen? And seeing myself, I was vivid. I was telling Wet Movie, who's been losing weight as well, and just as successful as I have been with it, about this. And I was having these visions of myself in the hospital, basically after like a heart attack or after something terrible happening to me. And and then I was like, that day in the hospital, that evening, I was like, I'm done with this. It like snapped. And that's what it is when it comes to this, to doing this and trying to be successful at this, is everybody out there who wants to do it, you have to get to that place. It doesn't have to be like a scare like that. It just has to be something that makes you get to, like, where you snap. And then you basically, all you care about is getting healthy, and you care about losing this weight. Because like people that even in my life that I see in places like that talk about, oh, they want to lose the weight, but then they go and eating this terrible food still, and then they're around me eating this terrible food, and it's just like, I hope for these kind of people that they all decide to change, and I hope that they have a point when they snap before it's too late. Because with me, luckily enough, like I said, I dodged a bullet with the diabetes, and I dodged a bullet with a heart attack or heart disease or terrible things happening. I mean, but the thing is, at my heaviest weight, I was having so many problems. Like me talking right now, if you guys remember my videos before, when I was talking at it, like doing something like this, I would be, this was a really well done remake that Tom Savini did. And it's Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead, and this is the Twilight Time release that has a lot of controversy to it. I didn't want to open it. It's because I ended up spending so much money on this thing. And everyone kind of said that it's got this kind of blue tint to it, and they kind of like mess with the picture on it. So it's like breathing in this terrible breathing problem. I couldn't talk like I'm doing now. I wouldn't be able to do that. I would be breathing in and having these terrible breathing fits. They were horrible. I would go up the steps. Me and Brendan talk about this. Go up the steps, just a flight of steps. I'd get to the top of the steps. My heart would be beating so fast, and I would feel like I'm about to pass out. It was that bad. If I bent over to pick something up, I would get dizzy. I mean, that is how fucking bad it was for me. I was a total wreck with it, and I was allowing it to go on, and I didn't face reality with it. I did not come to that point. Like I said, when I went to the hospital, I came to that point, and finally that point of doing it. And the very little by little, I started to try to figure out how I'm going to do it. What am I going to do to lose this weight? How am I going to do it? And I started thinking about the counting calories. And, some people say, oh, you got to watch this, you got to watch the fats, you got to watch this. And that's true, though. With the fats and that kind of stuff. You don't want to go and count calories and eat buckets of chicken, that kind of stuff. But what you have to do is you have to leave certain things behind. The first thing with me that I had to leave behind was sodas. In the very beginning, it took me about 3 or 4 weeks to fully leave them behind. Beginning, I was thinking, oh, I could have one a day. And then after that, I'm like, I'm not going to do these anymore. I'm done. Me personally, I am not drinking that sodas again. All that is sugar water, and that's all it is. And all that is, too, for a lot of people that drink it, and a lot of kids and things like that, to be honest, it's just increasing your chances of diabetes, increasing your chances of medical problems, because all it is sugar. It is just fucking bullshit sugar, and it took me so long to realize that, and now I don't even care. I don't even think about it anymore. But the problem is, I know a lot of people have a problem getting away from it, and what you have to do is, you really have to wean yourself off it. Like I said, I'm the kind of person who used to go to movie theaters, get the giant drinks, would go to 7-Eleven, get the big ass Slurpees, and all that kind of stuff. And I was, abusing it. It was almost like an alcoholic with sodas. And same with the food. With places like I said, I had to wean myself off it. Then I started having the one a day. Then I stopped. Then if you guys can stop, right away, that's a little hard though. You have to kind of find ways to get right off of it. And the other thing you do at other places is, if there's a place where you were abusing, like Taco Bell with me, I was out there all the time. I used to go there and get like those big ass burritos and those quesaritos and all that kind of stuff. Was always eating that place, continuously getting stuff there. And that stuff is some of the worst food. And no offense to Taco Bell, but it's absolute crap. It's not good for you. It's full of fat. And it's like, if I had it now, I'd probably throw up. I mean, because I haven't eaten anything like that at all in such a long time. Another thing is Mexican food. It's very hard to eat Mexican food, and you're trying to lose weight, because a lot of it, like, some people say, oh, they go there and get the quesadilla and stuff like that, cheese quesadilla. That's the worst. Like, there's things like that you would never expect to be the absolute worst. They can be like upwards of 1,000 calories for one quesadilla. And I used to get that and the burrito and other burritos and like eat them later. And I used to do that like third meal bullshit or fourth meal. So they talk about when you eat it in the middle of the night, that late like 4 o'clock in the morning kind of business. I was doing all that kind of stuff, getting those cartons of ice cream. And like I said, you got to just kind of find ways to cut out the places where it's really bad and you had your biggest addictions with eating. Cut those places out. do your best not to go there. If people are like having that in your house too, around you with food, and they're talking about, some people have told me, oh, I want to lose weight, but my family cooks all this delicious food and I want to eat it. Here's the thing. Does your family want you to be around? Does your family want you to be alive? And if you're like I was, at the heaviest weight I was, and your family's cooking you the food that's not good for you, the bottom line is, if you tell them that you want to change and that it's snap with you and you're ready to do it, they're not going to be angry at you. If they are, you're going to have to stop seeing them or stop talking to them for a while, because anyone who wants to put you down for wanting to do this or wanting to lose weight is not someone you need to have a relationship with, at least until you can get past the point and break your addictions. Because I'm sure anyone is, if you tell your family that you want to do this and this is important to you, they're going to be happy. I would think they would be supportive. And if they're going to cook, fried chicken and all that kind of stuff, that's fine. They can eat that. But you have to say, oh, I'm going to have to go and get this, and I'm going to have this fish that I can grill up, or I'm going to have to make sure I have a salad, or could you get me the salad? Because the thing with me too is, I've lost a lot of this weight eating places that I even went to before. Like, I go to like Boston Market, I go to Panera Bread and eat like the broth bowl now, or like the soup, the chicken noodle soup, or the half sandwich, or go to a place called Boudin and get the salad. But with the salads and stuff too, you have to be very careful with the dressings. Be very careful, keep it to like 1 ounce. That was another thing that was really bad with me, is I used to go to places when I got salads and stuff like that and would get like extra dressings. I'd put like 3 big ass things of dressing on it, and like the amount of calories that I was putting on them, it was like, because a lot of people have this idea that, oh, I can eat, if I'm eating salad, I'm eating vegetables. Yes, that's a great thing, but if you're not being careful with the dressing, it defeats the purpose. You'd be better eating you'd be better eating a Big Mac, because with the amount of dressing you put on it, it equals the same amount. And that's the biggest thing too, is, like I said, with me, what I've done though to lose the weight is, I've been going to the gym. I started in the very beginning, I started swimming in the pool. Like, we had a pool at our house, and like, I can't do that now because it's too hot out. Too cold. It's starting to get warmer now though. But I was doing laps in the very beginning when I was like 450 or close to 5, whatever I was, because I don't know the actual starting weight. I was going in there doing laps, and that was what was starting to get the weight down. I was losing weight really fast doing that, counting the calories, eating, the 1,500 calories a day, doing the 1,500 calories a day. And that was, what I was doing. And that's what I continue to do, is the 1,500 calories a day. Now I've moved into going to the gym. Been doing that, I think, since August or so. And I started out doing the treadmill, walking. But the thing with me in the very beginning was, the first time I did it too hard, and was going there too fast. I see other people at the gym going on there that are very overweight, putting it on like the speed of like really high speed and trying to run on it. Don't do it like that. You'll burn yourself out. That's not how to do it. You start off slow. You move up. Even now, I don't go on the really past 3 for speed. I don't need to, because you can adjust the height of them. If you can find the ones that have a really high height, the incline, you can put it on like, I've moved that up from like 18 to 20, but I said the incline, it took me a really long time to build up to be able to do that. And like, I go like 2.8 speed, 3.0. But that running on there, you don't have to do that. Maybe like later on, if you really get a whole lot of weight down, you can do that. But that's not the way to do it. That's not going to speed things up. All that's going to do is probably make you feel really faint when you get off of it. And you might pass out. That happened to me the first time I did it. I didn't know what I was doing. I went on there with a really high speed, ended up passing out afterwards when I got home, the very first time in August. So don't do it like that. Don't make my mistake of jumping into doing that real quick in the beginning and thinking that's the way you've got to do in the very beginning. So those are the main things that I want to talk about, with what I've done. But like I said, though, this is the kind of thing that when you guys get to the point that you want to do this, you can do it. It's all about getting to that point where it snaps and you're ready to do it, and you're ready to get to that point. And like I said, too, don't be afraid. The food is not that hard. You can go to any website, most places, Panera Bread, all those kind of places. Boston Market, which is a really good place to get for getting chicken and the garlic potatoes. And they're like 100 calories for them. This garlic spinach was about 100 calories. You can get some pretty decent food, and you'll be fine. You just have to look up the calories, and if you start cooking stuff, you can also cook up chicken, grilled chicken breast. But ease off on the butter, ease off on You know, the one thing too, desserts, they don't exist. They, at least for a while, when you're really trying to work at this hard, the word dessert doesn't exist. The word potato chips, all that kind of stuff, that's the stuff you have to leave behind. Try not to have it in your house, because that's a lot easier if you don't have to have all that around. You know, it's a less temptation and less risk of you having to go back or going back to the way you were eating before. Before I end too, I want to show you one other thing. So the one other thing I wanted to show was, here is my old belt. This is the first belt that I had before I started losing the weight that I was wearing right when I started. And I'll show you to see the differences. Here's where the belt was. I had it near the end notch. And here's the belt. And this has pretty much become a hula hoop now belt. And like I said, guys, if you have any questions or any more questions about things that I've done, you know, let me know. Just wanted to address, though, how I did it. Hopefully be a little inspirational to some people that are really interested in this, too, that want to do this. And like I said, I may do more of these. And, you know, you can leave me comments below, too. Other subjects you'd like me to talk about in videos like this. Let me know, like, any other things you want to know, any other tips, anything like that. So thanks a lot for watching and subscribing, guys. You know, if you remember of any, like, you know, weight loss boards or anything like that, feel free to post this video around. I'd love to hear what other people think and other people who have been losing weight as well, kind of their stories as well. So anyway, though, guys, like I said, thanks for watching and for subscribing, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Let's see if I can spin with it. Sort of.